We have added Sam Collier to the mix. Sam Collier is in the building.
This like a media party right now.
Yo, what's up? It's good to be in the building. Wadeo is here. Whenever I see Wadeo, I'm like, all right, we can ready to have a conversation.
we just gonna have a little open discussion. A little open discussion. Right. Nothing big, nothing big.
And I was like, let me prepare. Wadeo is here. Let me prepare.
So obviously we had you and The Truth on, what was that, 2 years ago, a year ago? And when you started Hillsong Atlanta. And some things have changed.
Just a few.
So I want to ask you, did you actually see the documentary that kind of blew this up a little bit?
Yeah, I knew about it about 7 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So as a leadership team, we were privy to kind of the behind the scenes, and there's that documentary. I don't want to put too much press on the others, but it's about 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And there's another one coming, and so they told us about it back in July, which was about a month after we had launched.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew about it, and I haven't seen it, but I have. It's like I've gotten the play-by-play from every person that's watched it. I'm like, all right, I don't want to watch it, but tell me, all right, what's episode 1? What's episode 2? What's episode 3? What's episode, so I feel like I've watched every ounce of it, but, I feel like I've also been kind of watching it unfold for, 7 months. So I pretty much know everything that's in it, and, accusations and other things.
So I want to get a sense of going into it. I mean, there were a couple of stories out already about Carl Lentz, and there was some buzz about some stuff. What was your thought going in that gave you confidence that this was going to be a long-term thing?
Yeah, so we decided to be Hillsong probably about 3 months before the Carl Lentz situation happened in New York.
Okay.
And we got announced a week before it dropped.
Okay.
Wow.
And nobody knew that was coming. and we didn't know it was coming. But we did know behind the scenes that there had been some trouble with Carl in the Hillsong world. They had been trying to kind of deal with it for roughly 2 years of just going back and forth with Carl, having different discussions about different things they were seeing or not seeing or wanting differently. And just to be candid, I think probably 2 months before that, they had a discussion with him just about, him going ahead and letting it go, instead of having to fire him. Just like, hey, we just don't feel like this might be a good fit. They were already kind of there. And so within that, about a week after that, and I explain this to people, all the time, it's like, when Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, there was nothing in my mind that thought, okay, Beyonce's team is not going to be able to handle this, right? Or like and so, because you see scandal happen all the time in the mainstream world, and even some in the church. I won't name any names, but we know some people, they've got like 9 lives. It's like, It's like you mess up, you come back. You mess up, you come back. You mess up, you come back. So for me, it's like, man, I'm joining this mega brand. This will be here today and gone tomorrow, especially with us having, 160 locations around the world. New York was one of 160. So for me, it was like, it's like any denomination. Southern Baptist Church, you don't crush the entire Southern Baptist denomination because one Southern Baptist church had an issue, right? You deal with that issue, you kind of let it go, and then you move forward. And so I don't think anyone, especially me and Tony, anticipated it lasting so long and it going so deep. And even to this day, right, it's still going.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So, so there, we had confidence that it was one church out of 160, and that, Beyonce's team, right, would be able to maneuver all
Right.
of the ups and downs.
So what changed then? What was the straw that broke the camel's back for you to say we can't do this anymore?
Yeah, man. I'll be very candid in saying, we had a meeting. In that meeting where we discovered the documentaries that were getting ready to come out, because the media did alert, because they were trying to get sound bites from the Hillsong world or any one of us, right? Every day it was, somebody hitting us up from the Queer Eye kind of producers to the New York Post producers, which were mainly behind the documentary that's on Discovery Plus. We were getting hit up all of the time. And so since then, I had a lot of the guys in the Hillsong world just, praying for me, and a lot of mentors calling me back in July. It's now, East April. So back in July, I had mentors reaching out, hey, are you okay? And that's before they heard about the documentaries. This is just when stuff was going on, but behind the scenes, we knew that many of, that this was coming out. And so for me, I had a conversation with God in that moment, because I had mentors asking me, so how long are you gonna do this? Like, how bad does it have to get for you to do this? Like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, look, I'm fine. The Lord has me here, and I'm really big on not leaving an assignment, no matter what's kind of happening around you. It's like, for me, I have to have the release of God in order to go to the next thing, because he's the one backing you in all things anyway. So I'm like, I don't want to get out of position unless the Lord says this is what needs to happen. And so I prayed to God in California during that meeting and just said, God, when would you want me to leave if I were to ever leave? I got mentors asking me, safety in the multitude of counsel. What are you saying? And God said to me, the moment you can no longer fulfill the vision that I've given you because of the challenges of the day, that's the time for you to leave. And so at that current moment, I was still doing the vision. It was July, August, we were growing. September, we were growing. October, we were growing. November, we were growing. Many of y'all, you saw the events we were doing, Rapzilla. We were rolling things out. Truth was preaching. Christmas came around. It was packed to the wall, right? Center stage. And then January, we were growing. Around February, the documentaries had just kind of dropped, or the trailers. Say it one more time.
I said the trailers. The trailers started dropping.
The trailers started dropping, and the media started kind of riling back up, because for a moment we kind of had a moment to breathe. But then during that time, that happened, and then obviously Pastor